Hi again. On this video, we will look into the formula that relates to Pascal principle. The formula will be explained by using the hydraulic system as shown in the diagram here. In a hydraulic system, it is built by using two different pistons with two different areas. A smaller area piston connected together with a larger area piston. Now, when a force is applied on the smaller piston, let's say a force F1 is being applied on the smaller piston. Let me label this as a small piston. This is the small piston. So a force of F1 is applied on a smaller piston, and let's assume the area of the small piston here is equals to A1. Okay, now on the other side, on the larger piston, okay, we have the large piston here, and the large piston here has an area of A2. Let's label the area of the large piston here as A2, and this exactly producing a force of F2. Okay, now let's see how does the system gonna work related to the formula. Okay, so when a force is applied on an area, from the definition of a pressure is the force acting per unit area. Therefore, we're gonna have a pressure produced on the smaller piston when the piston is pushed down. Let me label the pressure here as a P1. On the other side, let me label the pressure here as P2. Now we have a pressure at the smaller piston labeled as a P1 and the pressure at the larger piston labeled as a P2. Now, my question for you guys, what is the relationship between P1 and P2? Is P1 equal to P2? P1 more than P2, or P1 is lesser than P2? The correct answer is both the pressure P1 and P2 are equal to each other. You may wonder why the P1 is equals to P2. Remember from the definition of Pascal principle that we have learned on the previous video, pressure transmitted in an enclosed surface is transmitted equally in all directions. So, since the whole piston is an enclosed surface, therefore the pressure at any point in the system here will remain the same. So, therefore, P1 is equals to P2. Now, we also know the pressure is equals to force over area. So, P1 is equals to F1 over A1. So, we have F1 over A1. And on the other side, P2, pressure P2 is due to F2 over A2. So we have F2 over A2. Therefore, we end up with a formula that relates to Pascal principle, which says that F1 over A1 equals to F2 over A2. Now, let's look on a calculation that based on Pascal principle.